So I just came back from a walk, and it would have been so easy to just jump into like doing the next task. And I thought, I should stretch. I've had an injury in the past few weeks, which has made me not move as much as what I'd like. And then I just feel stiff and kind of off balanced. So we are going to stretch to help balance out just everything. So have a chair and then sit towards the edge of the chair so that your sits bones are on towards the edge, right? You're not touching the back of the chair, and then lengthen your spine. So root down through your sits bones, lengthen your spine, hug your waistline and your core muscles gently in to support your neutral spine. So it's not like an abdominal crunch, right? You're just gently pulling everything in and up a little bit. Widen across your collarbones. And then you can shake your hands out. This doesn't have to be like just something you do after a walk. It can be any time. For me, I'm using this to balance out something else. So you can shake your hands out, reach your arms up, interlace your hands, and keep your sits bones grounded so your hips don't move. And then start to lift your torso up and over to the side. Keep your gaze straight forward. You're not turning your shoulders at all, just side to side lateral motion as far as you can go that feels comfortable for you, that you can maintain your breath, and that you can keep your hips steady and stable so you're not like moving through the pelvis area. At any point, at any time, if you want to pause and breathe for a little bit longer, that's fine too. And remember, for the most part, all of your breath comes in and out through your nose. Do one more each side. Draw your navel in, and then come back through to center. Let your arms float down, and it might feel good to roll your shoulders around. If you naturally go up and back, then that's fine, but after a few, go up and forward as well. Again, just creating balance. So from here, I feel like a rotation is what my body's asking for. So take your right hand to the inside of your right leg, and then rotate your spine towards the left. Let your gaze follow the rotation. And again, your hips are staying still, and this isn't a crazy rotation. It's just what feels comfortable and good in your body right now. Oftentimes when we do things, it's the finding out or the figuring out, that creating relationship with what does feel right and good in my body, because we spend so much time disconnected to our body. Release that rotation, and then left hand comes to the inner thigh. Don't let your thighs open out. Keep them hips width distance. And then on your exhale, just rotate your spine towards the right. Go slow enough so that you can actually feel what's happening in your body as it happens. Oftentimes we get into some sort of body movement and we're just doing the thing, we're completing the task, and then after you're like, oh, this doesn't feel good. So what we're aiming for is finding the points and the places that we should stop when we're in it, instead of afterwards and being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that rotation. Come back through to center. So feet are still hips width distance, and your feet are grounded onto the floor. All your toes should be pointing forward. Just start to lift your heels, and then push your heels down, and then lift the balls of your feet. So I recognize that you can't see this. Trust that I'm doing it. Heels lift both together, nice and steady, super controlled movement. You can lift your heels until you feel the stretch where you're like, oh, that's too much. And then your heels lower down, and then the toes and the balls of your feet lift. So we're getting some stretching and some movement through your feet and into the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, the ankle joint, and you might feel this up into the calf as well. Observe that while you're doing this really simple movement, do you feel the tendency or the, like, do you want to lean forward, or where is your body adjusting? Or can you also connect in with the engagement of the core muscles that are helping to hold your spine here in neutral? Do one more each side, so heels up and then push down. You can see that my knees are not moving a lot, right? They're definitely staying at hips width distance. And then you pause, take a breath. At this point, cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Now, for me today, this feels very tight already. I feel this in my knee, I feel this in my hip. Keep your left foot flexed, so you want your toes to be spread wide. And there is zero pressure on getting this knee lower, none. Lengthen your spine, keep your torso upright. If in your body today, you can't even get your ankle up here, what are your options, right? You could come down to the ground and open the knee just out to the side. So the side of your foot is on the ground and the knee is open. It's the same variation of ankle up on top of your thigh, just lower. You could also straighten out your right leg and place your top foot on top. So you're still doing that like cross, just in a lower position, which might give you a little more space. Do the things that feel comfortable to you, and also keep your hips level and your spine upright. So this is a lot of like mechanical details, so we don't have to do a lot of other stuff because we're paying attention to all of the small things. Wherever you are in your ankle positioning, start to roll your left ankle around. Whichever direction you choose is fine, because you'll switch in a few moments. Keep your torso upright, switch directions. So while we're creating movement and some lubrication for the ankle joint, we're still doing this stretch and kind of different angle than we're used to. Like when we're walking, we're always forward facing. When we take a body part out to the side, then we're taking it to a lateral position, which doesn't get a lot of use. Quiet the ankle movement and breathe. So from here, you stay there, I'm just gonna pivot on my chair. From here, with the leg crossed, take your neutral spine and just hinge it forward, pull your belly in, and you're only hinging forward to the angle at which you feel this extra stretch through the hip joint and maybe even into the knee joint. So you don't have to go far. Actually tell yourself not to go far and see if you can be a little more kind to what you're doing and where you're at today. Draw your navel in to support your neutral spine. You can stay at whatever angle you're at, or if it feels good, you can test out the water, see if a little more angle works, or does a little less angle work better, right? So you do the thing that works for you. Never ever pushing your body to the point where you can't breathe normally or where it feels painful. Bring your torso back up to upright, and then you just place your foot down. And if you want to stomp your feet out a little bit, you can. Just move it around. If at this point your hip is really bothering you or it feels super tight, you could always just stand up and just do a little like movement here, whatever feels good to you. And then we set up for the next side, again, making sure that your sit bones are on the chair and that your spine is in neutral. And then right ankle or left ankle, right ankle comes up onto either the top of your thigh, out to the side, or straight leg and then out to the side here, right? So you find the variation that works best for you. And then notice how and where this side might feel differently. For my body, this side feels way less tight than the other side. And I'm just observing that and not saying that one side is better or good than the other. I'm just taking notice, right? So then that way I can adjust how and what I do on this side for the difference that is this side. Start to move your ankle around. I like to do this ankle mobility with the foot up here because it keeps the shin steady. Oftentimes, like if we were to just lay on the floor and bring your knee up and move the ankle around, the knee and shin can start to get a little wobbly. Switch directions. Notice whatever it is that you notice and make adjustments to accommodate and to appreciate where you are right now. And then quiet the movement. So from here, we do the hinge. So you start in this upright position, neutral spine, draw your belly in so the shape of your spine stays the same, and you hinge to the point keeping your neutral spine where you're at that pressure point of like, I can feel the stretch happening and I can also manage my breath and be okay with where I am. Keep your breaths long and level so they're balanced with inhales and exhales. Take one more breath. You lift yourself back to neutral. You lower your foot down and you stomp it out, shake it off, do whatever. You can take your legs wide, stand up, move your torso around. Honestly, whatever feels good here, do it. You have a few breaths here in this just kind of rebalancing after some stretching. And then wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stand up. You're gonna use the chair as some support for a quadricep stretch. So hold on, stand up tall, take your left foot into your hand behind you. So if you're like, yep, that's not happening, one way that you can get there is bring your leg forward, grab onto the knee here, and then slide it back like that. You could also use a towel or a strap around the top of your foot to help pull your leg up. So whatever works best in your body, stand up straight, keep your neutral spine, draw your knee back, roll your left shoulder open, and you'll feel this desire to do a big, maybe arch through the spine. Instead of doing that, try to keep your spine neutral. So you draw the navel in and keep your pelvis neutral, and then draw the knee back for the stretch through the front of your left thigh. Exhale, release, switch sides. So remember that each side is always different. And you get into the quadricep stretch however works best for your body. Level your hips, stand up tall. Take lots of breath into where you feel the stretch happening in your body. You can always bring the knee back behind your hip as much as you need to feel the stretch happening through the front of your thigh. And exhale, release. You're gonna sit back down into your chair, please and thank you. Same neutral spine, shake your hands out, move your arms. Take your arms out to the side, turn your palms to face up, and then point your fingers down. So this can be a very big stretch for your hands up into your palms, into your wrists, especially like if you have tight wrists or carpal tunnel, this could feel very intense. Remember, only move to the point that you're still able to have a level inhale and exhale. Take your left ear towards the shoulder. Keep your spine upright, all your fingers pointing down towards the ground, really opening up through the chest and into the front line of the body. Gaze up, and then right ear over. Gaze up. Let your arms float down. Take your hands to your thighs, palms facing up. You're going to maintain your neutral spine. You can close your eyes if that feels good to you. Gently close your mouth and breathe in and out through your nose. Pay attention here. Notice what your feet feel like on the surface that they're touching. Check in with your knees. And if you have some knee challenges, send some love to this area. Touch in with how your hips are feeling. Find and feel the balanced sensation of your sits bones on the chair. Maintain level inhales and exhales. See if you can push down into the sits bones and lengthen your spine just a little more. Really finding this optimal neutral spinal alignment. Bring your awareness up to your shoulders. Imagine pointing the shoulders away from the midline of your body and let your collarbone lift. Draw your awareness into your elbow joints. And then down into your wrists. Gently and lovingly bring your attention up through the midline of your body, up through the neck, and feel your jaw soften, your neck get longer, and some ease happening around the crown of your head. If you can visualize this shape of your body, notice its balanced proportions. Feel balanced with your breath on inhales and exhales. Feel balanced on the inside of your body with your emotions, with your energy and your thoughts. Feel balanced in the skeletal structure of your body. Allow this sensation of being grounded and balanced and centered to bubble through every aspect of yourself. Give thanks for your body, for your opportunity to create space and balance inside and outside. Take a full breath in. Let your exhale be longer and slower than the inhale. One more time together. Inhale through your nose. Gently exhale, lips slightly parted. I hope that the rest of whatever lies in front of you has an aura and energy of being more balanced and of you having more awareness. Thank you for being here, for being you, and for showing up. I'll see you soon.